What's up, everybody? I want to talk to you today about Manning Lighting. So Manning is a manufacturer. If you've heard of them in the context of probably ecclesiastical spaces, right? Houses of worship. So if you're imagining like big pendants and huge chandeliers that hang over congregations or hang in synagogues, that's what Manning has been known for 75 years. But you'd be interested to know that that same company can work on any of your commercial projects. And today I'm going to give you an introduction to Manning Lighting, and you can learn a little bit about how they can work on your next project. They are based in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. So they are an American manufacturer. They have a 75-year history here in the United States, and they are still to this day family owned. So when I talk to Manning Lighting, I'm talking to Andy Manning. So it's a family business. He knows everything there is to know about the business. And you're not going to get surprised or get any kind of different answers from management. It's all one little family there. So Manning Lighting, based in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, they have a 50,000 square foot factory out there. That factory is where they do the bending, the cutting, the manufacturing of metalwork right here in the United States. So they can work on those materials locally and develop what you need for the shape and build of your fixture. They are, of course, sourcing LEDs, heat sinks, drivers, other parts and pieces. They're not building all of that stuff in-house, but they're pulling in those assemblies along with other third-party pieces. Think about glass, acrylic, things that they're going to get from third-party vendors to manufacture a complete fixture. Now, those fixtures are where I want to really focus, because I think Manning is known for, again, these houses of worship. There's a lot more to that company, and I learned a lot more when I started to dive in and talk to Andy about what they do. Manning has a catalog of castings that date back to the founding of the company. So 75 years worth of different castings and shapes that they've created for all kinds of houses of worship and other spaces. So that level of capability and that level of history has really educated the company on how to make pretty much anything in the space. And they've adapted with the times. So they've seen pretty much every source technology, right? From incandescent all the way through, to today's LED. And they work in LED all day, every day. That history, that level of knowledge is what informs their ability to do custom projects. So imagine a manufacturer that has all of this space, all of this history of building fixtures that can generate 20,000 lumens for a house of worship, that needs to hang from a certain structural member, that needs to be made of certain materials, cast in a certain way, with either a glass or acrylic diffuser, delivering perfect light for a house of worship that's going to rely on this fixture for decades to come. That's the kind of manufacturer you're employing for your custom builds here. So it's a level of capability that you're probably not used to from many manufacturers, and it's all happening right here in the United States. So the level of collaboration and communication that you can have with Manning is different from most other manufacturers in this space. We're not just talking about modifying what's on the catalog, we're talking about dead custom work. So you can look at, clusters of illuminated cylinders, or huge multi-point chandeliers, or single columns of light. Really, anything you see on the website, anything through their history is up for grabs and up for modification. There's a lot on there. And the thing I don't want you to come away with this video from is like, oh, okay, Manning, has this history, they can do custom. There's also a big catalog of just regular old fixtures. So these fixtures came from work that they were commissioned to do, maybe from a house of worship or some other customer. Those fixtures are now part of the catalog. They can build those fixtures. They're made to order. So if you see something on the website, you say, this is pretty great, but I need it to be X or I need it to be Y in terms of size, space, whatever, then that's not an issue. There can just simply be a modification that they do. They're going to issue a shop drawing and get it approved and get it into production. So it's absolutely possible to do that with Manning. The last thing I wanted to bring up, and this comes up in old cities like New York, Chicago, Boston, is historic restoration and historical upgrades. So if you're thinking about, let's say you've got a client that's got an older building here in New York, and maybe they have those cast iron or wrought iron fixtures that are sitting out on the facade of the building. They don't want to get rid of that look, or maybe for historical reasons they can't get rid of that look. Look to Manning as an option to restore those fixtures lovingly with the history that they have of their own castings and metalwork, or They can also upgrade those fixtures, which is really interesting. So if you're looking at a historic hotel project, for instance, and they have these beautiful old fixtures, but they're not giving enough light for the modern audience, or maybe they've just gotten too old to perform properly, Manning can go into those fixtures, can look at how they were built, and either fully restore them or upgrade them internally so they can move into being LED first fixtures with some modifications in the field and in the shop to create really beautiful spaces that meet modern lighting requirements. So whether we're talking about historic restoration, stuff that lives on their website, stuff that is actually out in the field for houses of worship, we're ready to help and we're ready to do those projects with Manning. If you look at Manning's portfolio of projects and some of the pictures I've been showing throughout this video, you're going to notice that we're talking about historic hotels, museums, commercial office spaces. These guys are being used on projects of all shapes and sizes all across the country. So don't limit yourself to thinking about houses of worship or Gothic spaces or something like that. Manning can be involved in any of your projects. We at SDA are actively scheduling meetings with Andy Manning to talk about their capabilities, to jump into project-specific things with the specifiers here in the New York area. If you want to book a tour, if you want to book more information, or if you can't wait for Andy to fly in and you want to just get on a conversation via Zoom, we're happy to book that for you. Contact us at SDA or contact your SDA rep, and let's get a meeting going with Manning Lighting to talk about your next project. We can't wait to work with you, and I think you're going to be really impressed when you dive into the depth of product that these guys can create. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.